Yo, what's happening, me old babbers? Vinyl Junkie here with another episode, and this week's dig, unearth this. Brainstorm by LFO from 1990. It's a bit of a special record to me, this one, as it goes, because this is the first record I ever played out in front of a crowd. Well, it was my first ever gig, which was on March the 8th, 1991 at a club in Bristol called Fairways. And yeah, this is the first tune I played. So I guess you could say that this record launched my DJ career, in a way. Do you know what? I was just going to end the video there and play you the tune, but I had to check some on Discogs, and when I did, I found a bit of info that I thought would be cool to share with you. So, obviously, you all know this record, right? This is LFO by LFO, which came out on Warp Records. Obviously, this was a massive tune, yeah? But it turns out that the LFO that made this record is a different mob from the LFO that made this record. And so when this record came out, these guys got dubbed as the fake LFO, because everyone said that were riding off the success of LFO's LFO tune and they'd stolen their name and all this kind of stuff, right? The LFO that made this record consisted of two guys. One was called Les Cutmore and the other was a guy called Paul Hardcastle. Now, if you're an old git like me, you'll remember Paul Hardcastle, because in 1985 he had a massive chart hit with a track called 19.
In Vietnam, he was 19.
That sat at number 1 in the UK chart for 5 weeks, I think it was. LFO's second release, which came out the following year, was called We Are Back. And there was a line in that, a sample or whatever, that said, "There are many imitators."
There are many imitators, but we are the true creators.
So that was obviously a dig at these guys, right? Let's not get it twisted here. I'm not slating anyone or taking any sides here. I'm just giving you the info. LFO from Warp Records was led by a guy called Mark Bell, rest in peace, and they were pioneers of that bleepy techno sound. So I've got the utmost respect for them guys, but I do think that the other guys, LFO, Paul Hardcastle and Les, got a bit of a rough deal really, and this is why. With a little bit more research, I actually found out that the original mix of Brainstorm by LFO actually came out on an Acid House compilation in 1988. Now, LFO by LFO was released in 1990. So I don't think they actually stole LFO's name. I think it was the other way around. So anyway, here it is. Brainstorm by LFO. First tune I ever played out at Fairways in Shirehampton in Bristol. Big up all the crew, and I'll see you next time.
I would rather defy the storms and atmospheres than this cruel descent from 1,000 years of dreams into the starkness of the capsule, where two of our tombs still lay suspended cool in their tombs of sleep. These are all signs of imminent sonic destruction.